Hello, everybody. Whoa, hey. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. My name is Dave Canyon, and I am your one and only solo host for this and every Dumbcast of Dumbing It Down with Dave. Today is Sunday, excited for October 2nd. It is 10:52 a.m., a little bit later than normal, on my way home from 5 grueling days in a row of sitting in a seat, driving a tractor-trailer, pulling doubles up and down the New York State Thruway. Doubles would be one trailer with what they call the connector dolly and a second trailer loaded with dairy products, mostly milk. About 80,000 pounds a trailer at 65 miles and probably a little bit less on the uphills. From anywhere from Albany to what I call Ronkonkoma, Long Island, which most people would say Ronkonkoma. But Ronkonkoma is how I like to say it because it's funny that way, especially when I'm saying it by myself. Ronkonkoma. And, if you say Ronkonkoma enough, you forget that it was actually, I've been saying it so long like that, I forget it's called Ronkonkoma. And it's actually Bohemia. I think where I end up, my GPS says, not my GPS, the truck's, I don't never use GPS. Well, unless I really, really have to, but I don't have I use my phone. Anyway, Bohemia. Nice name for a town. I like that. Bohemia. You would think bohemian things would be happening there. My guess is not so much. Anyway, so enough about my job. I am on my way home. It's a gray day. I think last Sunday, this is episode, I think 28. I checked right before I got on the air, and I already forget. If it's not 28, it's 29. Now I feel like an idiot. Can I check this? No. I'm going to go with 28, although it could be 29. I feel like an idiot now. I just looked, and I forgot. But it doesn't matter. Whatever episode it is, I might be calling this "I Support Trump." I'm going to take a leap of faith. Not really, but I'm going to pre-name this "I Support Trump" with a subtitle. Well, I know I don't support Hillary. So, to give you an idea of where I'm at politically, I really haven't done political on the show. I haven't done politics because they say it'll alienate. If you do politics or religion, you'll alienate like 50% of your audience. But you see, what I did was I did the math, and I said, okay, 50% of zero, that's still zero. So really, I don't lose. If anything, I gain because I lose half of nothing. If you want to be like an eternal optimist, so I have half of nothing. Right now, I have all of nothing. I have all of zero listeners. Well, I kind of have one listener, but that's a sympathy listener. That's my buddy Mark, who I've mentioned in previous podcasts, previous episodes, and I'll keep on mentioning him because he's the only one that listens, and he's the only one that comments. He's the only one. Well, he hasn't emailed me in a long time. He sent me my first email, so I'm going to respond to him because he's engaging. He's engaging himself in the dialogue with me and him about my show. But chances are, if he didn't know me, he would never listen to the show. Well, he wouldn't know anything about podcasts, really. He wouldn't listen, and he wouldn't like the show at all. I don't think so. And I think that's the problem. You have to know me to like this show. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, anyway. Well, there's a lot of people that do know me, and they don't like me at all. So that doesn't work either. None of the math seems to be working out for me in regards to my podcast. Dumbing It Down with Dave, with your host, Dave Canyon, the fastest podcast on earth, traveling in my Kia Rio at 65 miles an hour, or sometimes a little bit faster. Right now, we're doing about 71, 72. And the mileage report this week brought to you by, hey, that'd be great if I can get a sponsor. The mileage report today is brought to you by Gas Buddy, brought to you by Cumberland Farms. See, I can do that, folks. Anybody wants to sponsor my show, take some advertising out. I'm very good at that. I can do anything you want. So today's Kia Rio report brought to you by the new Kia Rio, the Kia Forte, the Kia Soul, the official car of this Dumbcast, Dumbing It Down with Dave. Anyway, my mileage report. Yes, I did that for me just now, as a matter of fact. I know for you, it was incredibly irrelevant. 216,577 216, 577. That is the mileage report for this week. I'm accumulating the miles. And my car went to the shop last week, first time in a long time. Got my new oxygen sensor, so now I have no check engine light. I hope I'm getting great mileage. I've always been getting like 35 miles to the gallon, even at 216,578 miles. And I don't travel at 55, 60 miles an hour. I do that thing where I go faster, and they say you lose 10% of your mileage for every mile over the speed limit you do, or every mile over 65 or 55. There's some sort of mathematical equation, which I've long forgotten because I stopped caring. And I love to save money. We're never going to get to this Trump thing, by the way. I'm going to tease you with the title. I support Trump, or at the very least, I don't support Hillary. And the other guy who doesn't know what Aleppo is. And that other crazy person from the Green Party. We haven't had a Green Party candidate that crazy since Ralph Nader. And I liked Ralph Nader, but this one today, this lunatic, Jill Stein, woo! Cuckoo. Anyway, she's got some wacky ideas. And I voted for the guy who doesn't know Aleppo, what Aleppo was, in 2012. I voted for him. That was a message vote. It wasn't really a confidence vote. Like, oh yeah, he's the guy I want. It was I didn't like Mitt Romney. I didn't like Mitt Romney as soon as I knew his name was Mitt. Like Mitt, what, catches Mitt? What is Mitt? Mitt. That's not a name. No, I did not vote for him because of the name. I didn't like him, and he never won me over. I don't care what his politics was. He never won me over, and I thought he was just slick. And I still think I think he really, really stunk up this election. The way he came out against Trump, and I mean, he come out looking like a dope. He was a dope for losing to Obama in 2012. It was a slam dunk, and he blew it. And then he comes out in 2016, and he came out worse. I mean, this guy's career is over. But isn't he like a millionaire? Isn't he like? So I don't think he has a problem. And I think he still has a full head of hair, so good for him. Anyway, so shot out of a cannon today. Look at me. I was really tired about an hour ago. I just did 2 extra hours of work. I think I did about 72 hours worth of work I've done 80 somewhat hours of working, but at the job, I think I've clocked in like 70, 71, 72 hours of work. It's a lot of work. Maybe more. Well, we'll find out next Friday when my paycheck comes in, my direct deposit. Lovely. Yeah, that's like 3 weeks in a row of working 5 days a week. Ugh. This gets harder and harder for folks. 5 days a week at 16 hours a day is a lot. It's very hard for my body to keep up right now. But I got to do it. I can't leave any money on the table. So anyway, okay, so I covered all that, and we're going to get to this. I support Trump, or at the very least, I don't support Hillary. As I'm talking, if you want to comment, you want to reply, if you're listening on the Spreaker app, the button all the way to the left is the heart button. You know what that means. That means you really like me. Like Sally Field when she won the Oscar for Norma Ray. And also the button next to it is the comment button. So feel free to comment on the Spreaker app. And don't forget to share. And like me on Facebook. I'm all over the place. Everything is Done with Dave. Twitter is it. I got to work on my Twitter account, Done with Dave. And my email address is dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. What is that? dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. Dumb is with a B, dummies. My dum-dums. Well, thank you for the Dumbcast. I hope you're happy in my domain. Ha ha ha. See what I did there? So let me just tell you that, by the way, and real quickly, thank you to Alex Exum and Rob Greenlee for mispronouncing my name all over the internet on their Spreaker Live show. No, I'm only kidding. I wrote a letter into Spreaker Live, and they read some of it. They really kind of butchered my letter, but they paraphrasing, I think they called it, not butchering. Respectfully paraphrasing, I think they call it. But they got a long show. They had to get to it, and they my letter was pretty long. Although it was off the top of my head, and I was exhausted when I wrote it. When am I not exhausted? So thank you, Rob, for reading whatever part of my letter and taking my comments, reading them on the air and discussing them, and letting everybody know that they were valid points and valid criticisms of the show that they do every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Eastern, I think it is. Yeah, 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. I always want to say specific, but you know that's not it. It's Pacific. Spaghetti, not Pusketti. Okay. Anyway, so it's nice to hear your name mentioned on the radio. Oh, they said Kenyan, and then Rob says to Alex, "It's Kenyan, right?" And Alex goes, "Yeah, it's Kenyan." No, it's Canyon, like in Grand Canyon. I didn't know I had to make that clear. Like with Hillary, you have to put a big C. C for classified. What's C for? Hey, Bill, is C for cookie? What's C? C is for Clinton. Oh, I see. These emails are alphabetical order. C. Oh, thank you. Yeah, C is for Clinton. Dummy. C is for classified. Can I ask you something? Why can't they just write the word classified? Because it's classified? So they put it... This is like a Get Smart episode. Well, it says C, Chief. It says C for classified. Well, Max, why don't they just say classified? Well, that would be a good thing, Chief, but it's classified. So we put the letter C, and that indicates classified. But if I know that, is it classified anymore? Not unless you have a clearance. Did you just call me Clarence? No, clearance. So now we're getting into that airplane movie mode. But anyway, isn't that one of the dumbest? I want to see these emails, what it looks like when it has the letter C. Where is this C? Is it like a big embossed? Is that the word, embossed? Like a big C? Is the whole page like one big embossed C? Is it in red? Is it highlighted? I haven't seen this on the internet. Does anybody have a link to any of our classified emails? Or do I have to call Snowden or who's that other guy from WikiLeaks? Nureyev Schnurfer? I don't know what his name is. The guy from, I know what his name is, but I can't think of it right now. I want to see what this C looks like. Doesn't everybody want to see what this C looks like? Is it lowercase c? Is it capital C? Is it like a scholastic C? What font is this C in? And is the C in parentheses? C. Anyway, so I did that for Mark. It's an inside joke. Is the show over? How much time I got left? Oh, 12 minutes, 12 and a half minutes, not bad. All right, I got 17 minutes to explain to you why I support Trump, or at the very least, I don't support Hillary. Okay, folks, so here's the deal. I'm not political. Let me tell you that right now. I'm not political. I don't keep up, really, with politics. I mean, I couldn't possibly do, like, I was going to say the Hon Shanity. How did that happen? I couldn't possibly do it like at the Sean Hannity show or the Rush Limbaugh show, or I don't know how you could commit to reading about politics, talking about politics. I mean, the whole thing with the constant 24/7, Wolf Blitzer and all these people on CNBC, SCS, whatever, all these shows with the politics. Holy cow. I mean, I don't even think I could be a politician, much less talk about politics. I don't know if I could even do that. I mean, I think I could, is in regards to, I think the two candidates we got now leave a little something to be desired. And having said that, I feel like my entire adult life, it's my entire voting life. Well, yeah, okay, well, it's the same thing. Has been always voting for the lesser of two evils. It always seems like that's all I'm doing. And I hear that phrase all the time, every election. I either hear, no, I'm not voting. What's the difference? It doesn't make any difference. Or I hear, yeah, it's like voting for the lesser of two evils. I've heard that, so we've all heard that. If you haven't heard it, email me at dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. I don't know how you haven't heard that by now. It's almost impossible. But we never seem to have anybody like, oh, wow, this is the guy. Or this is the gal. Obviously, this is the only year. Well, no. Geraldine Ferraro. Was that her name? Geraldine? Flip Wilson? What was it? Was it Geraldine? Okay, it doesn't matter. Ferraro. America Ferrara? Ferrara America? Whoever. Anyway, she ran. Right? With Martha Mondale? Or was she the VP? Nominate. Whatever. So anyway, it looks like, didn't Shirley Chisholm run for president or something? I thought she posed a threat to Richard Nixon. Well, I think Richard Nixon thinks everybody posed a threat to him. I sort of remember in some podcast that Shirley Chisholm black woman, by the way, I think ran for president of some sort. Of some sort. No, just president, Dave. I know. I'm just trying to it was a long time ago. Maybe she just ran for mayor. I can't remember. So if you know who Shirley Chisholm is, I mean, I can look it up. I don't need you to email me. I'm just looking for people to email me at dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. So I'm not political. I don't know what these people are talking about. I'll be very honest with you. I don't have a clue what they're talking about. Almost never. I don't know what the effects are of a possible ruling, a vote, a bill. I don't know anything about the Congress, the Senate, the House. I get so confused by national news. I'm 2 minutes into the national news, and I'm lost. My wife, who's a college graduate, we sit there and we watch, it used to be Peter Jennings and not Chuck Scarborough, that's local news. Tom Brokaw, and now it's Scott Pelley. Scott Pellet? No, I have a pellet stove. It would be Scott Pelley. I like Scott Pelley. And Katie Couric a couple years ago, and Bob Schaefer, my ultimate favorite. I love Bob Schaefer. I think I understand him a little bit, but there's just something about the lingo. Like, I need a cheat sheet. You ever go to Staples? They have that laminated cheat sheet. Like, you can learn English in 60 seconds. Here's your cheat sheet. If you're walking around Spanish Harlem, if you go to Puerto Rico, bring this big 8x10 laminate with you. It's double-sided laminate, and it has keywords on one side, and the back is sentences, and then a collected dots. You could use it as a table, a placemat too. It's a Spanish language placemat. Also, they have them in geometry and other languages. Go to Staples. You've seen this, right? It's a cheat sheet laminate. I think they got Windows Vista like laminates, like whatever, Windows XP. Anyway, they make these laminates. I don't even know. Are they called laminates? I don't even know what they're called. How can I do politics? I don't even know what this thing is called at Staples. I think it's like a laminate. Laminated. It's laminated. So, I'm not political. I don't know what's going on. I don't know the buzzwords. National news. They always say Tehran. I think they want to say Iran, but okay, here's a better example. That is a good example for me, because every time they say Tehran, I go, wait a minute, what are we talking about? Is this the same place? It's not confusing for me, but I don't understand why they pick more than one. There's the UK, right? The United Kingdom, but they don't say United Kingdom, they say UK, kind of like saying USA instead of the United States of America. But there's the UK, and of course there's England, and then there's Great Britain. Is there one more? There's UK. Well, there's London, but that's a city. Right? London, England. Okay. There's England, Great Britain, United Kingdom. And why am I thinking there's one more? It doesn't matter. But, it's like, wait a minute. There's three? Just pick one. Stop calling it three different things. Where's Great Britain? Is that in London? Is that in England? Is that in the UK? I don't understand. And by the way, I think UK is also Canada. Because I used to work for a freight company, Conway Freight. And Canada was regarded as the UK. I don't know. So they say Tehran. I go, what are you talking about? What does this have to do with Trump? I'm getting to it. So I don't follow. I'm just telling you right now. I'm disarming you before you email me, which you're not going to because I have no listeners. And now I have half of zero listeners because I'm doing a political show. And of course, I'm going out there saying I support Trump. And of course, all my liberal, I don't have any friends, but my fake book, in quotations, friends, they're all, I know I have 300 friends right now. Maybe 300 and want fake book friends. It'll be interesting to see that number dwindle. I welcome it. If you're a fake book friend of mine and you already see the show, it's called I Support Trump, and I also don't support Hillary, and you want to unfriend me, go ahead. You do me a big favor. You're simplifying all my logistics. I've already lost every childhood friend I've ever had, except for one, really. Childhood friend, I said. Childhood. Yeah, I lost all my childhood friends. Well, two. Yeah. And none of them live within 50 miles of me. I don't think either one of them live within 100 miles of me. One lives about 3,000 miles away from me. That's what my friends do. They disown me. They disfriend me. They defriend me on Facebook. And then... They yell at me via ridiculous emails and texts. They don't return my phone calls. I'm giving you a lot of insights, folks, into my life, personal life here. I have a lot of problems with my friends. Well, my former friends now. I can't even call them my friends anymore. And where was I? Yeah, so you're simplifying my logistics. Go ahead, defriend me. I don't care. It's kind of like the half of... anyway, so I got to move on. Oh, great. 9.5 minutes left. So I'm going to disarm you. Go ahead and email me at dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. I don't know anything about politics. I'm just telling you right now. And I don't have an agenda. I don't have an agenda. You know what my agenda is? It's kind of like the subtitle of... that's not the word. Is it subtitle? No, subtitles is the words that go across the screen. It's the secondary title. Ugh, I can't believe I can't. I'm so tired for doing 80 hours in the week. It's Dumbing It Down with Dave, right? The fastest podcast on earth. That's kind of like a description. And then Mike 3D from Pipe Dream, which is on the comedypipe.com, Comedy Pipe Network, comedypipe.com. Pipe Dream, Wednesdays in New York at 8 o'clock. Wherever you are in the world, if it's Wednesdays at 8 o'clock in New York, it's time for Pipe Dream. Not plural. One word, Pipe Dream, on the Comedy Pipe with .com network there, comedypipe.com with 3D. His friends call him 3D, and they changed the camera angle. I think I've been poking at him. I've been criticizing and commenting, so they've changed the camera angle, and they're playing with things. They're trying to make the show even more interactive than it's ever been before. So anyway, and I'm on episode 198, and there's a GIF on there for me. Not a gift. A GIF or GIF, who knows? So I got my plug-in for that. That's good. And I don't know anything about politics. I know nothing. I don't have an agenda. Oh, so the subtitles, yeah. So it's Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth, and Mike 3D says, Dave Canyon telling you the way life ought to be. It was something like that. I don't know if it was exactly like that, but I like that tag. But I also like the fastest podcast on earth. But, I like the fact that he mentions my name. That's good. It's always good to mention because I'm a little shy, believe it or not, and I don't like to put my name all over the place because, well, what do I know? I'm very humble, believe it or not. I have a lot of humility. I know nothing. And I know that I could be a little bit spontaneous, a little bit emotional, and, sometimes I'm well thought out. I do more well thought out behavior. I exhibit well thought out behavior when I'm on the drive-through line at the White Castle. I really think it through. I always get 10 double cheeseburgers and a chocolate shake, but I do consider my options. I end up with the same two things. I just want 10 double cheeseburgers, or sometimes just 10 cheeseburgers. Sometimes I don't get 10 double cheeseburgers. That's ridiculous. So that was a joke. I do most of my better, clearer, more intuitive thinking is we're never going to get to this Trump thing. It's going to be a part 2 episode. And I'm ordering White Castle. It's very important you make the right selection. I love my cheesy burgers. I love my cheesy meats. 6 minutes. All right, here we go. 6.5 minutes. Shows I got to do 30 minutes or less. There's no other way around this. Okay, so I made it clear. I don't know anything. I have no agenda. And the subtitle to the show is not only the fastest podcast on earth, Dave Canyon telling it the way it ought to be, but it was also supposed to be not procrastinating. It's supposed to be pragmatism or pragmatics. I used to say pragmatism, but that sounds mystical, like magic. So pragmatism, life, happiness, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. That's what it was. Pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. And that's what I like the show to be about. I don't know if we ever hit on that, but I am a pragmatic, and I do like discussing the truth, looking for the truth, happiness, and I do enjoy the search for it all. That's, that's all I want. Well, that and $1 million. And constant sex around the clock. Not just for me, but for everybody. My wife's going to say, that's very crass. Why did you say that for? Why you were doing fine, and then you said sex for everybody. What's wrong with you? Why do you got to talk like that? That's not how my wife sounds. My wife is an old lady. She's the lady that died from the Big Bang Theory. Why do you got to talk like that? So, I have no agenda. I just want the truth. I just want politicians to do the right thing. There's got to be a truth. There's got to be a truth to these social programs. There's got to be a truth to our relationships with other countries, whatever they may be called. There's got to be a truth to our economics. There's got to be a truth to our education situation. A truth to the environment and what we're doing to it or not doing to it. There's a truth to renewable energies and fossil fuels. There's a definitive truth. I like thinking, and I like knowing that there is a definitive truth to everything. I'm not a religious man, and I don't follow the Bible. I'm a pragmatic. I don't live by those words. And I know Mark would say, well, and it's kind of true, I kind of believe him in a way, not 100%. If everybody lived the way the Bible told you to live, we would have none of these problems. The only problem is, a lot of people don't live by the Bible, and we've been having problems ever since, Adam and Eve. I mean, right? If you go with that whole logic, Adam bit that apple, wasn't supposed to. Now we have problems. Anyway, I don't want to get into that conversation. I'm just saying, I just want the truth. There's a definitive truth. There's a way things should work. It doesn't have to be left. It doesn't have to be right. Okay, I got to get to it. 3.5 minutes. See, there's a lot of fun doing a podcast. You say the title and then you never get to it. People go, no, just get to it. He keeps on interrupting and he goes on these tangents. What's wrong with him? He's got this stupid sponsor nobody listens to. He just goes on. Is he going to talk about his childhood again in the last 2 minutes? They should have let me go to that school. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a podcast. Enjoy it for what it is. I might get to it next episode because I can't explain to you why I support Trump and why I don't support Hillary. And if I didn't support Trump, I still wouldn't support Hillary, and I don't know who I would vote for. Not Jill Stein. Cuckoo. Maybe the Aleppo guy. What's his name? Gary Johnson? I like their commercials. They seem to be trying to be hip. I'll tell you real quickly, because I'm not going to get to it. So that's the end of that story. I got 2.5 minutes. Bernie Sanders, as crazy as he was and is, I liked him a lot. I like the old Jewish man. I'm an old Jewish man. I'm being very honest with you. When he would talk about the things that we need to do, he reminds me of Jackie Mason. And, of course, Larry David did him. And I have a comedian friend, Rick Chrome, who, look him up on the internet, RickCrom. He did a great, he's going to be upset if he knows, he's going to see on the Facebook, on the fake book that I have a show called I Support Trump. He's a liberal. But he did a great Bernie Sanders. I loved Bernie Sanders. I really did I liked Bernie Sanders a lot. And I could have seen voting for him. Absolutely. Because he's crazy and listen, he can't do 90% of the things but I think we all knew that, but I was going with his honesty. I liked his enthusiasm. I like the fact that he's as old as he is and he's going strong. I like an old, strong Jewish man. Not too many people say that out loud. I really enjoy a strong, older Jewish man. I like the whole thing about him. What is he, from Brooklyn? Yeah, I relate. And I think he's not racist. I think he's great for civil rights, which is a big problem in this country. And I think solving the civil rights problem, the racist problem, might solve a lot of other problems, like the economy. I think we'll get to it in part 2. Okay, so this show is called I Support Trump, part 1. And part 2 will have to be another day, because I got a minute, and I got to say goodbye. I can't go over 30 minutes. That's my new goal. All right, so that's it. I'll talk about Bernie Sanders. I'll talk about criminal Clinton. See what I did there? And I'll talk about Donald J. Trump and Jill Stein and the Aleppo guy and Ross Perot and Dukakis. And we'll just have a total presidential podcast. All right, TPP. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to email me at dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. I hope you enjoyed part 1. But until the next show, which could be in another 30 seconds from now, good day, good night, goodbye, good luck, Godspeed, good riddance, Godspeed, and great skills. Take care, folks. Bye. All right, real quick, 10 seconds left. dumbingitdownwithdave.com. dumbingitdownwithdave.com. Dumb with a B. Bye.